Nice to meet you, Gabe. Thank you very much for this interview for Azteca TV.
Of course, thank you.
Finally, we could make it happen because I will share your story this Friday.
Yes, it just popped up on my screen. Let me clear this so I can see your face.
Yeah.
So real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, is that good?
A little bit closer, a little bit. Yes. A little bit to your left, but little left. Yeah, I think that is in the center.
Okay.
Okay. Wait me 1 second. I don't know if you can come closer a little bit more.
Yes.
So there are not too much space up. Exactly.
Let me fix the tilting on my phone too, because that might be playing into.
Exactly. That there.
Okay. Is that better?
Now we are showing the.
Yes, let me move that.
Exact. Yes, that's better.
Okay, let's do it slightly.
Slide it to the.
Okay.
That is not good. Exactly.
Huh?
A little bit.
Is that
back.
good?
A little bit back. There you are. No. Come. There. And to
Okay.
your left. There, you're in the
Right
middle.
here. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you very much for this interview for Azteca TV.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So tell me, now you are an influencer, and your videos are, well, everybody love your videos because we are very surprised about how you do this incredible makeup. So
Thank you.
how do you do it? Tell me.
I've always loved watching my mom and my 4 sisters get ready all the time, and just watching how they each start their makeup differently. And when I was in high school, I was on my high school dance company team, and my coach came up to me and she said, "Hey, you're gonna need to learn how to do foundation and concealer, contour, and a little bit of highlight so you kind of stand out when you're on stage." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, this is my perfect excuse to kind of get into makeup." And so I went to Ulta later that weekend and I bought a few products, and I came home and I just started practicing. And one of the first times I put on makeup, I put blush all over my entire face. And I went shopping with my brother, who's the same age as me. And we were out and about, and he's like, "Are you mad?" And I was like, "No, why would I be mad?" And he's like, "You look really mad." And I was like, "No, I'm not mad." And then we get into the car and he's like, "If you're gonna put makeup on, at least learn how to do it well." And so I was like, "Okay, fair enough." And then I was a motivational speaker for about 5 years, and then COVID hit. And so during the downtime of COVID, I kind of took a step back and realized what I really wanted to do. And I found out that that was makeup. And that's kind of how I've been able to get better in practice doing videos on TikTok.
So you learn like practicing. You didn't take classes, makeup classes.
Nope.
So could you come because you have a hat up, and the other hat looks like something like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're hiding the hat behind. So
Okay.
that's better.
Is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, so you didn't take classes. You learn to do makeup by yourself.
Yes, a lot of the things that I've learned how to do in my life have just been self-taught or through the help of my parents.
That's amazing. But how do you do it without hands, without? I think, well, I saw your videos and I know how to do it. I don't know. For you, there are nothing is impossible. In fact, it's what
Correct.
praise. So, but tell me how. Describe me even if we see it in the videos, but please you describe me how you do it.
So when I first started to do my makeup, I actually was doing it laying down because I thought that that would be one of the best ways for me to be able to apply it. But then I'd have to look up at an awkward angle into the mirror every time I would apply something or try and blend it out, and my neck would just get very sore. And so then I started to do it sitting up, and I would tape things down, but then the tape would wear off. And so then I'd have little tape marks on my desk or on my walls. And so that wasn't really working either. And then when I started dating my husband, he realized that makeup was something that I really enjoyed doing. And so he invested in a vanity desk and a huge mirror and everything. And he cut down the legs so they were perfect height for me and gave me some good lighting and stuff to be able to work with. But then I realized I don't really want to tape things down to this desk because I don't want to ruin it. And so I learned to just pin the brush up against the edge of the desk with my shoulder and just maneuver my face in the direction I'd like it to go. And even with my beauty blender, I used to tape it down, but then I realized that it was tearing up my desk. And so I kind of just don't leave it taped. I just try and do it as effortless as I can without getting it either on the desk or ripping up the desk. And yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And I read that you started posting your videos in social media, but you didn't show how you do it. But the first time when you show how you do it, you show like the backstage of all your stuff. Uh, I don't know, your social media increased a lot
It really did.
because of that, right?
Especially over Yeah, especially over this last year. When I first started dating my husband last year, was back in February, and I had posted my first TikTok in 2019, and it was a dancing video, and it got over 800,000 views in less than 1 day. And so in the beginning, when I started doing TikTok, it was really just to show what I'm able to do without arms and legs and really showing that there are no limits. And so not only was I showing dancing videos, but I was also showing an everyday life perspective of how I dress myself, how I shower myself, how I brush my teeth, how I shave my face, and stuff like that, or how I cook a meal, or how I get in and out of my wheelchair and stuff like that. And then just makeup became such an everyday part of my routine that I would sneak it into the videos, and then I'd get comments saying, "Hey, we want like a bigger video exactly like how you did this look." And so then over the last, I don't know, 10 months or almost a year, I've been showing how I do my makeup looks, but I wasn't showing exactly how I would do my lashes because I didn't really think that would really inspire or interest anybody. And so then I think it was 2 months ago, I showed for the first time how I apply my glued on eyelashes. And I didn't ever show that it was glue. And so a lot of people were thinking that they were magnetic lashes. And so then I started to just sneakily put in the duo glue into the clip so people can see that it is the actual eyelash glue and that I'm not taking any cheap shots when I do my makeup.
Yeah, that you do it by yourself.
Yes.
Exactly. And yeah, for you, there are no limits.
Mhm. Correct.
Exactly. And what do people tell you? What your followers used to comment?
I've noticed that when I post something that's more um, targeted to beauty, that I get a lot of positive comments and people really enjoying that kind of content. And it makes me so happy when I see the younger generation and their parents saying that their kids wake up every morning wanting to start their day by watching my videos because they're curious and it's inspiring to them because it's not something that they get to see on an everyday basis. And then I also really enjoy seeing the people who are struggling in their own lives that will go and watch my entire feed to kind of boost their mood and their attitude and their outlook on life, or even just the makeup community saying that they really like how I'm using the products and creating these looks and stuff like that just really makes me happy.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's amazing. And when you, but what happened with you going backwards? What happened to you?
So I was born like this, and it is called hand-heart syndrome. And it is a birth defect that leaves lots of people who have it with either malformed jaws, missing fingers or toes, or the lack of no arms and no legs. And so that was my kind of situation. And then I was left in an orphanage after my birth mom gave birth to me. And then my story traveled all the way to the United States because I was born in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And so my story traveled all the way to Utah, where my adoptive mom heard about me. And she ended up adopting me, and I am one of her only adopted, and she has 13 biological children of her own.
Wow. And how was like your childhood, your teenager stage? How was it?
Growing up,
How did you handle that?
growing up, we did grow up in a very LDS conservative home, and so I am gay, and to be gay in the LDS Mormon Church was not acceptable, especially when my dad was an institute teacher for 32 years and was highly looked upon by many people. It was a huge disappointment and a huge no-no to my parents to be gay growing up. And although they still loved me and still treated me fairly, just like they would all with all of their other children, there were a lot of hard, deep conversations. And I think the hardest one that ended up fixing my relationship with my parents was when I was 19 and I was getting ready to move out of their home. And I just sat my parents down and I just said, you know what, if we are going to have any sort of relationship after I walk out of this door, I need you guys to support me and love me for who I am, not who you want me to be or who you hope me to be, because you've raised me to follow my heart my entire life. But the second I try to do that, you get mad and you frown upon it. And it just was a huge eye-opening moment to my parents that it was something that they had taught me my entire life and that they had gone completely against what they had always taught me. And ever since we've had that little conversation with each other, it has blessed our relationship um, so well. And they are so loving towards me and my husband. They both showed up at my wedding. My dad gave a beautiful speech at my wedding, and it just was super awesome.
So now they accepted
Yes.
all this. So we will talk about the husband, but first, I also know that you had problems not only with the family or your with your gender, but also with the bullying that your the students
Yes.
did it to you.
Bullying has definitely been like a huge part of my life growing up and even now as a 22-year-old adult. Whether that's in person or over a screen, it has always been something I've had to deal with and manage through. Growing up, there were so many times that it got to me and I was not in the best headspace. So when I was 16 years old, there was so much hate, and I've shared this over my social media because I want to be able to help people and let them know that it gets better. But at the time, I didn't realize that. And so there was a time that I almost took my own life. And luckily, I did not succeed. And from that moment on, I realized that my life isn't about me. It's about what can I do for other people to uplift and inspire. And ever since that, it's helped me push forward and see things in a better light. Now, as a 22-year-old, um, getting onto social media, I never really thought that there would be, well, I always knew that there would be negativity, but I never thought that there would be this much that comes with it. But there's always positive that can outweigh the bad, but you just have to look for it. And I learned a really interesting lesson a few years ago where um, people are always going to want to pour oil on you or pour water on you because we come into this life as seeds. And intentionally, we're supposed to grow into beautiful flowers. But there's always going to be people who want to pour oil on us to watch us die or water on us to help us grow. And so I take that into social media. And every day I wake up with the choice to either let the comments affect me or let them roll off of me because none of these people truly know me as a person. Because if they did, then I would hope to God that they would never think or say those things to me or anybody else.
So as I can see, it didn't affect you at the end of the day.
Correct.
So how do you grab that strength to yourself?
Like
Because
I
you're
said,
very
it's
young
been,
to think it that way. You look very mature and you're very young.
yes. So like I said, it's been a lot just learning to get to that position and headspace. There's still, of course, days that I have my down days and I ask why, but at the same time, why not me? There's obviously some kind of lesson in it for either me or the person behind the screen that needs to be learned, whether it's me taking things a little bit too personal or the people who are taking jabs and not understanding and being completely insensitive towards the situation of what's going on.
That's let me 1 second. My battery is 4%. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
Let me go
no, you are just fine.
let me go for the charger. 1 minute, please.
Okay.
I know it's too down. I'm trying to create something. Oh,
You are just fine.
okay. Ready. Sorry, somebody came. Okay. Okay, Gabe. And there's something else that you like to do, like another hobby, another activity?
Um, my other hobbies would probably be art. I've highlighted a few pieces that I've done in the past with my artwork. I like to do digital art just because it's a little bit easier on my phone or on an iPad. But I do also like to get creative and work on an actual canvas with some paint. I think my other hobbies also would be just dance and singing as well.
Okay, nice. And your influencer lifestyle is your job, or do you do something else?
Ever since COVID hit, I have switched over to being a TikTok influencer full time.
Wow. And how is your day by day, for example? How many videos
Um,
do you record every day, or how do you handle that?
it really just depends on what my management team has in store for me to do. Sometimes there's several videos that have certain deadlines that need to be done within 2 days or 1 day. And so there's times that I will try and film at least 3 to 4 videos, depending on how soon they need to be done. But my husband and I have a little joke because he works in the medical field. And so he's having to get up at 5 in the morning and I get to sleep in until at least 9 or 10 in the morning. And so he always has that little dirty look that he gives me when he's walking out the door, knowing that I still get to sleep in longer than him.
Talking about your husband, how did you meet him? or
I
how long
met
have you
my
together
husband.
before marriage?
I met my husband last year in January, the end of January on Tinder, and we had our first date on February 4th, and then we made things official March 4th, and then he proposed to me October 31st, and then we just got married this year in June 12th.
I saw you in this white dress, and how was it? Could you describe us that day?
That was so beyond amazing and beyond what I ever thought it would ever be. I reached out to a bunch of designers actually on TikTok because I wanted an indie kind of creator to be able to help me create the look that I wanted for my wedding. And so I reached out to this girl named Michelle, and we just instantly connected. And I planned a trip out to California about 2 months before my wedding date, and we did a fitting of the jumpsuit. And she just was so pleasant to work with and just really captivated my dream and vision because I had actually sketched my dream wedding look back when I was in high school because I also like to do fashion sketches as well. And so I already had like a mock up of what I wanted. I just needed somebody who was in
You
that
did your makeup?
expertise. I did my own makeup, yes, but she ended up creating my own wedding outfit that I wore.
So wow. So do you like fashion also, like you say when you were in the high school or college? Do you
Yes,
like
yes,
that stuff?
yes, I love fashion. I actually walked as a model in New York Fashion Week in 2019.
Really?
Um, yes, with a brand called Runaway of Dreams, and they're all about inclusivity for people that are different than what you would normally see, because they want to break that norm of fashion only being for a certain amount of people. And so, for somebody to go in like me who has no arms and legs, there's some clothing pieces that I can't wear and that I need to have adaptive, whether that's an elasticity band or shorter pieces and stuff like that. And so it was really awesome to go in there and see all different sorts of people with all sorts of different walks of life that come together to showcase what makes them different and unique and special, whether that's in the fashion world or just in general.
So do you like modeling also?
Yes, yes.
And but you met your husband, but you got married so quick.
Yes, it's very common here
Why?
in Utah to really pick your partner and settle down and get married. And I just knew when I first met him on our first date that he was going to be my husband one way or another. And he ended up happening.
Wow, that's amazing. And he works in medical area, right? What he
Yes,
what he used to do? What is his
he
profession?
is, he's a nurse. And so he's worked all throughout the COVID and everything. And so it's been really interesting to kind of have that front row, back row seat on how it's taken a toll on him and everybody else in his field and everybody else around the world.
Wow. So you have been achieving your goals so quick because you are just 22 years old, no? And as I can see, you have
Yes,
been achieving a lot of goals so
yes,
quick in your life.
yes.
What does that mean to you?
I've kind of always had this burning fire to get things done. I don't really like to set out a far day. I like to plan it and get it done. And that's just been my entire life with anything that I set for myself to achieve.
That's good. So you really go for it and work for it. So
Yes.
I just have one doubt about the makeup thing because I really can't believe that you do it by yourself, that you didn't study makeup in a makeup school. So how do you inspire yourself to do this incredible makeup for yourself?
I've always just thought, what if there was a better way to enhance my features or be a little more creative or a little bit more bold or a little bit more daring and pushing that next level in what society thinks is acceptable or isn't acceptable or what they think I can and can't do. And so that's always been a push factor in what comes out of my makeup looks, whether that's a very high glam look or just an everyday look or a very abstract editorial look as well.
Wow. So, but you never finish your ideas. The ideas never end. You don't see another influencers in order to have more and more ideas because you have to do a lot of videos.
Yes, so I will look at a lot of influencers for their kind of ideas, or I watch a lot of people on YouTube as well to see what they do and see if I can kind of copy it or do it in my own way and maybe a little bit better. Uh, it just depends on what kind of look it is. If it's just an everyday look, then I don't really need to look at anybody to do it. I know exactly what I want and what I'm going for. But if it's more like an editorial look where there's more lines and more detail to it, then I, of course, will have like a picture to kind of reference to.
And how do you describe your style?
I think my style is kind of everywhere in between, whether that is like an everyday look or a very glam, classy look as well, with like a smoky eye and a simple look, lip look.
Okay. So, and as I told you, you achieved a lot of goals already in your life. So, which one are your new goals in your life?
I think my new goals as of right now would to have my own makeup palette, whether that's a collaboration with another beauty brand or on my own. I would also really like to be the face of a big beauty campaign that you walk into a store and you see my face and somebody who looks like me, whether that is me or somebody who looks like me, just to put that out into the world to celebrate the difference that we all have and letting that be beautiful.
Wow. As I can see, you achieve all your goals and you work for them. So I'm very impressed about how do you handle that, and you demonstrate to everybody that there are no limits for reach something. No,
Yes,
there are no
correct.
limits. There are no obstacles.
Exactly. And one of my tag names is Limitless Gabe, Limitless, Gabe. And I just really like to capitalize on that because there really is no limits.
Exactly. Well, Gabe, thank you very much for this interview. I really enjoyed to talk to you
Of
about
course. Thank you so much.
you're very talented.
Thank
And,
you. Thank you.
and could you send us like a greetings to the show? The show name is Al Extremo.
What was that?
Al Extremo.
But could I do what with it?
By the way, what do you think about I don't know, like being interviewed in Mexico, like being more international? Social media help everybody to show your passion, your talent to the world. So what does that mean to you that all the work that people from other countries know your your talent, your work?
I'm still kind of getting used to the fact that people know who I am or are getting to know who I am just by watching my simple videos that I put on TikTok. And so I'm still getting over the fact that I'm no longer just the small town city guy. I'm now kind of pushing the limits and getting a little bit out there and making a bigger name for myself. But it makes me very happy and very touched that people are interested in seeing what I can do and hopefully making them feel better and want to do better.
And my last question is like, what is the message that would you like to share with them?
I would just say anything is possible. Never let yourself or anybody else tell you that anything is not impossible.
Good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gabe. And now,
Of
well, like
course.
greetings for the show. The show is Al Extremo. So it's just to say, hello, Al Extremo friend. I am Gabe from Utah. Uh, Kisses or greetings or something like that.
Okay.
Yes? Okay. I will
Yes.
give you the sign and then you do it.
Give me the name one more time.
Al Extremo.
Alex Stremo, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hey everyone, it's Gabe Adams. I am here on the Alex Stremo show, and I'm so happy to be here.
But from Utah.
Oh yes, correct. Ready? Hey everyone, it's Gabe Adams from Utah. I am here on the Alex Tramo Show, and I'm so excited to be here.
Great. Thank you very much.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you. Do you speak Spanish?
I don't speak Spanish. I know
Oh,
that I'm
Portuguese.
wearing,
Portuguese.
I
And
don't
do you
even
speak
speak
Portuguese?
Portuguese
No.
because I was a baby, no. And I was raised by people who only speak English. So I sadly don't know Portuguese or Spanish, but I know it's funny because I'm wearing a Portuguese Spanish shirt right now. That's because it's Spanish month. And so I just got a PR box from TikTok.
Oh, okay. But been in Mexico?
What was that?
Have you ever been in Mexico?
I have not ever been to Mexico.
You should come someday.
I would love to come someday for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Gabe.
Of course. Thank you. Have
Good
a great
night.
night. You too.
Success for
Bye.
Mexico City. Bye bye.
Bye.